Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Every year at West, the Naval Institute and AFCEA International recognize the service of Marines, sailors, and Coast Guardsmen from Southern California commands. These enlisted superior performers were hand-selected by their leadership to be recognized for their outstanding service. Today, we recognize service members from U.S. Coast Guard San Diego, Submarine Development Squadron 5, 1 Marine Expeditionary Force, Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego, Marine Corps Tactical Systems Support Activity, Marine Corps Installations West, the Marine Corps Air-Ground Combat Center, and the Marine Corps Communications Electronics School. I'll ask each command rep to come up and recognize his or her unit's enlisted superior performers. I'll ask that each awardee stand when their name is called, and that we hold our applause until all the awardees from each command are standing. I now call Command Master Chief Rob Turpin of the Coast Guard Sector San Diego.
Thank you, sir. Admirals, AFCEA West, thank you for allowing me to introduce our San Diego high performers. I have the list here in front of me. If you guys would stand up in front of on my left. Machinery Technician, First Class, Sean Phillips, Afloat Training Organization, San Diego. Maritime Enforcement Specialist, Second Class, David Holland, Pacific Tactical Enforcement Team, San Diego. Maritime Enforcement Specialist, Second Class, Shane Schubert, Maritime Security Response Team West, San Diego. Machinery Technician, Third Class, Carlos Lopez, Coast Guard Station, San Diego. And if you would take a moment and keep him in our thoughts and prayers. He couldn't be here with us. He had to take his wife to the emergency room. Aviation Electrician Technician, Second Class, Jacob Dillon, Air Station, Sector San Diego. Thank you.
Chief Brazelton de Leon of Submarine Development Squadron 5.
Thank you, Frank. Good afternoon, CNO, admirals, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chief Brazelton de Leon, Senior Enlisted Leader from Submarine Development Squadron 5 at Bangor, Washington. The following sailors is our 2018 Enlisted Superior Performers. Chief Christopher Andrews, Petty Officer Eric Ashcroft, Petty Officer Morgan Guxkessel, Petty Officer Matthew Howard, Petty Officer Stephen Layton, Petty Officer Robert Owens, and Petty Officer Kafilia Wilkes. And that is our 2018 Enlisted Superior Performers.
First Sergeant Mario Verto of 1 Marine Expeditionary Force.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the 1st Marine Expeditionary Force Commanding General, Lieutenant General Caparata, and the 1st Marine Expeditionary Force Sergeant Major Casal, I would like to introduce 1st Marine Expeditionary Force Enlisted Superior Performers. Starting with Marine Information Group, Sergeant Joseph Woods, Staff Sergeant Stephen Lee, Sergeant William Alderson, Corporal Jamie Smoknop. From the Marine Logistics Group, Petty Officer Olasula Adiemo, Sergeant Justine McPeters, Staff Sergeant Cody Locklear, Corporal Tyler Foots. From the Marine Air Wing, Sergeant Jesus Ruiz, Sergeant Selena De Paz, Corporal Isabella Gorais, Corporal Hunter Fick, Sergeant Harry Aguirre, and Corporal Jesus Severio. And from the 1st Marine Division, Sergeant Gerardo Colon Sanchez, Sergeant Stephen Stroud, HM1 Garland DeMoslery, Sergeant Paulo Hernandez, Corporal Noah Timms, and Corporal Kong Tao, 1st Marines Expeditionary Force Enlisted Superior Performers.
Sergeant Major Chasen Getty of Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Brigadier General Journey, Commanding General, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, and the Western Recruiting Region, and Sergeant Major Dobson, Depot Sergeant Major, I would like to recognize our enlisted superior performers. Sergeant Eric Singletary, Headquarters and Service Battalion. Sergeant Thomas Vasco, Weapons Field Training Battalion. Gunnery Sergeant Timothy Walsh, Headquarters and Service Battalion. Gunnery Sergeant Juan Duque, Fox Company, 2nd Recruit Training Battalion. And Gunnery Sergeant Carlos Hernandez, Drill Instructor School, Recruit Training Regiment. Thank you.
Master Gunnery Sergeant James Hughes of Marine Corps Tactical Systems Support Activity.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. I'd like to recognize our candidates for superior performance. Our candidates are Sergeant Megan Berg and Sergeant Stephen Parisi. Thank you.
Sergeant Major Michael Walton of Marine Corps Installations West.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Brigadier General Kevin Calais and Sergeant Major Julio Meza of Marine Corps Installation West and Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton, we would like to recognize the following superior performers. From Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton, Corporal O'Shane Francis of Headquarters and Support Battalion. Sergeant William Legge, Security and Emergency Services Battalion. Sergeant David Perez Sosa, Security and Emergency Services Battalion. Corporal Uriah Richards, Headquarters and Headquarters, Marine Corps Air Station, Camp Pendleton. And Corporal Matthew Walliser, Marine Corps Installation West, Headquarters and Support Battalion. Additionally, from Marine Corps Air Station Yuma, we recognize Sergeant Logan Delgado, Sergeant Billy Sanders, and Staff Sergeant Alexander Tran. Thank you.
Master Gunnery Sergeant Frederick Jackson of Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center.
Good afternoon. Sergeant Gary Dodd III. Corporal Rochelle Estrella. Sergeant Rafael Fernandez. Sergeant Estuvio Arnelas. Lance Corporal Frederick Pace, Jr.
Finally, Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Hicks of Marine Corps Communications Electronics School.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of General Bohm Training Command, as well as Colonel Ford at MCES, I would like to recognize our awardees of the Superior Performance Awards. They are from Communications Training Battalion, Sergeant Janae Lear, and from Air Control Training Squadron, Sergeant James Doyle. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a final round of applause for the West 2018 Enlisted Superior Performers.